Barley. Since its domestication in the Fertile Crescent over 10,000 years ago, farmers have been harvesting this nutrition grain to fill their needs. Barley is one of the earliest cultivated grains and was domesticated around the same time as wheat. The exact origin of barley is still debated. There are arguments for Ethiopia, the Near East, Egypt, and Tibet. In modern times, Russia, Ukraine, France, Germany, and Australia are the top producers of this spring or winter crop.
Cultivated barley grows in many biomes, but is mainly found in grasslands. It needs a mild winter because the minimum temperature for germination is 34 to 36 degrees Fahrenheit. The crop is well adapted to high altitudes and thrives in a dry, cool environment. It makes sense that barley's centers of diversity include the Fertile Crescent, the Himalayas, Tibet, and Ethiopia.
Since barley has been around for such a long time, it makes sense that there are many varieties available. There are 2-road varieties, 6-road varieties, feed barley, and malting barley, to name a few.
Barley can either be a spring or winter annual depending on the region, and it actually grows best when the land is rotated with other non-cereal crops. This results in less pests, increased nitrogen benefits, and water management.
Time from flowering until harvest normally ranges from 40 to 55 days. Pre-irrigation is sometimes necessary, and the soil is typically fertilized with a nitrogen source fertilizer when the air and soil temperatures are less than 50 degrees. Barley is mature around 35% moisture, and all combines in the modern age can be adjusted to thresh barley. Pneumatic elevators are commonly used to move grain, and it must be dry before it is stored in living.
Barley is used for animal feed, producing alcohol, and human food. The entire kernel is used in livestock feed. It is either steam-rolled or ground. Alcohol is made through the malting process from 2- and 6-row varieties. For human consumption, the outer hull is removed and the inside is eaten. In ancient Egypt, barley bread and beer made up a full diet. Before 1500, barley flour was actually the main bread ingredient available.
About 25% of the barley grown in the US is malting barley. Malting barley is normally sold at a price premium and is used to produce beer and distilled alcohol, for the most part. It has become a moral question for the Mormon barley farmers whether to continue producing malting barley for beer production, even though it goes against their religion. It depends on the specific farmer whether or not to take the high offers from the brewers.
Hulled and hullless barley are considered whole grain varieties. This means the grain still has the outermost hull that is not digestible attached. Pearling is when the hulls and bran are ground off the kernels. Both pearl barley and pot barley go through the pearling process, but pearl barley is then heavily polished, whereas the pot barley is only lightly polished. To make flour, the barley goes through the milling process of crushing the seed kernel, removing the bran, and grinding the endosperm.
Being transported to a barley processing factory, inspections are made to check storage areas for pests, odors, and proper moisture levels. The barley is transported mainly in bulk containers, but in some cases as bag cargo. The space must be cool and well ventilated to ensure the grain does not spoil.
Before barley processing factories, farmers and their families would take the seeds and crush them between 2 flat circular stones for hours at a time. This was called the grinding process, and it is actually where the phrase "the daily grind" began.
Machines or manual labor measure the correct amount of barley and seal it in a bag or jar. They are then transported by truck, railroad, or ship to find their final destination. The largest consumers of barley include Russia, Canada, Ukraine, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia.
No wonder barley has spread all over the world. The nutrition benefits are overwhelming. 1 cup of barley includes half your daily percentage of fiber and 52% of selenium. It is a great source of niacin, a B vitamin which reduces cholesterol and lipoprotein levels. It reduces platelet clumping and the risk of high blood pressure and heart attacks. Barley is also a rich source of magnesium, which is found to lower your risk of type 2 diabetes.
Barley's nutritional benefits, availability to adapt to climates and altitudes, and delicious taste are the reasons it has lasted so long and the reason it will continue to last. Humans will continue to develop better techniques for growing, processing, and transporting it, just as they have for the last 10,000 years.